Hello, I'm Jen from Cakey Lulu's, and in this next few videos I'm going to be showing you how I use the Prop Options sidebar separator to create a floating tier effect on a cake. In this first video I'll be showing you how to attach the separator to a cake and how to cover the bottom plate and the cake around it to create a seamless finish in sugar paste. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is attach the separator to a cake. Now in these videos I'm going to be using dummy cakes, but the exact same principles apply when you're using a real cake. The only difference is that you need to make sure you dowel your cake correctly, just as you would if you were doing any other tiered cake. So to attach the separator to the cake, I've got some melted chocolate here, but you can use whatever you normally use when making a tiered cake. So royal icing, melted chocolate, ganache or buttercream. Spread it smoothly over your cake, lining up your separator and pushing it gently to secure it in place. Now I recommend leaving it for a little while to make sure that it's completely set and that your separator is firmly attached and secured to your cake. So this separator has been attached to this dummy cake and has been left to set, and it's nice and securely attached and ready to be covered. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, the separator comes in a powder coated white finish, which means that you can just add it onto your pre-decorated cake, and then all you need to do would be to hide the join where the separator is attached to the cake. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cover the bottom plate and the sides of the cake to blend in seamlessly, which I like to do anyway when I'm using a white cake, but also it's really useful for when you're using a coloured cake. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is roll out some sugar paste. So using some corn flour or icing sugar to roll it out. We're going to roll out a slightly larger circle than the bottom plate. Next, we're going to cut it into a rough circle. And on one edge, I'm going to cut out a slight notch. Now this is for where the actual side bar goes. Once you've rolled that out, bring your cake in, and we need to make the bottom plate sticky so that the sugar paste can attach to it. Now you can use Trex, which is a vegetable shortening, or you can just use some cooled boiled water. I'm going to be using Trex, and I'm going to spread a thin amount all over the bottom plate. Next, I'm going to lift up my sugar paste, and where I've cut the notch out, I'm going to line that up with the side bar, and then using a cake smoother, I'm going to smooth the paste and attach it to the bottom plate. Next, I'm going to get a knife and I'm going to hold it straight down, and using the edge of the cake and separator as a guide, I'm going to trim away the excess paste. So now our bottom plate is covered, we just need to cover the sides of the cake and blend in the seams. So what I've done is I've measured the circumference and the height of the cake and rolled out a panel of sugar paste which is slightly longer and slightly deeper, and that just makes sure I've got a bit of extra paste to work with. So to make the cake sticky for the sugar paste to attach, you need to use either some water, which is cooled and boiled, or Trex. I've used Trex today. And then I've attached the sugar paste to a thin layer of acetate, which is going to help me move the paste around and attach it onto the cake. So what we need to do is lift up the paste and attach it to the cake, making sure that the seams are joined at the back of the cake. And then you need to pull your acetate away And using a smoother, we're going to make sure the paste is completely attached to the cake. Now, at the back where the seams join, we just need to line up the paste and using a sharp knife, cut all the way through both layers of paste and peel away the excess. And then using your smoother again, we're just going to blend that seam together. Now don't worry if there's a bit of a gap, because I'll show you how to hide that. Next, we need to just trim this excess sugar paste off so that it's level with our separator. And once we've done that, just use your smoother to make sure the paste is joined together at the sides and the top, and to smooth around the edge of the cake again. So now the top and sides of our cake are covered, we just need to blend the seams together where the two bits of sugar paste join at the top and at the back of the cake. There are two different methods that I like to use, and the first is just getting some cooled boiled water, dipping a clean finger in and just running it along the seams where the two bits of paste join. Now that blends it really beautifully, and once that's dried, you won't see the seam at all. Now the other way is to get a little bit of the extra paste that you trimmed off from your cake, so it's the exact same colour, and getting a small palette knife, dip that in your cooled boiled water and spread it onto the paste. And then once it's at a nice spreadable consistency, we're going to grab some up on your palette knife and just spread it along the seams, joining in the gaps. You can do the same at the back where the two bits of paste join together, and then using a flexible smoother, just smooth it over the top, wiping away the excess. Smooth it along the join, and then once that's dried, your seams will be completely hidden. So now we've covered the bottom tier and the bottom plate and joined the seams together. Next, we need to attach our top tier and disguise the top plate. So join me in the next video and I'll be showing you how to do that. Bye.